All right, we're live now. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. What's up, India? She followed us through all of the iterations of this show right here. Oh my god, this is insane. Okay, well, you're here, we're here, and it's not exactly how I planned to start it, but at least we're finally on board. Can you send the link? Did you get the link to the new show? I put it in the old chat.
See, all three are showing like this.
So the one that just says Michelle. Yep. That's us. Yep. Okay. So if you can send that, I'd appreciate it. All right. So Michelle, hey, we have Joy. Both Joy and India are from the first season of LOL. And you see how dedicated they are. They followed us through 3 different streams.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, were they with us the whole time?
Yeah, we are good to go. Hello.
Nice.
We have Nathan's Lawns and Gardens. Welcome. Thank you. I don't think. Hey, Australia. Are you familiar with Nathan?
Yeah, I've seen that name pop up a fair bit. Yeah, g'day, Nathan. Hopefully you got some warm weather.
All right, and we have Rob. What's up, Rob? Thank you for joining us tonight. And Greg also followed us over here. Thank you, Greg, for joining us to meet. This is Michelle from she's from Australia, and we made it. We made it here to talk to you guys. I'm going to give the floor to Michelle for a moment, so she can just kind of introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, thanks for that. First of all, thanks for inviting me to be on your show. I'm just a typical amateur front lawny sort of person, so I don't really have a lot of technical knowledge or anything, but I just, from a young age of loved grass, had a bit of a obsession with it, shortcut grass. So yeah, now that since COVID happened, I've been working from home, which has allowed me to pretty much spend every spare minute out in the grass and doing things. So the progress I've made in the last 2 years, since March 2020, I've been able to take the lawn to another level, just with being at home every day, being able to mow my lawns at lunch, things like that. But yeah.
Nice. I mean, I remember when I ran across your account. I mean, this is your before picture that we have up here right now. This is before your window, and I mean, your lawn has always looked amazing to me. I do know, it's a difference in person, because we're going to talk about why you wanted to do a reno on this beautiful lawn, and then
I know you're a bit worried when you saw me tearing it all up.
I was, yeah. I mean, I'm looking into the chat right now. Everybody's the same, like,
They'll be like, what's going on? Why are you digging this all up? So the grass that I have, it's called Kikuyu. It's native to South Africa, and pretty much it's an aggressive weed. So with a lot of care and maintenance, I've been able to transform this weed into a manicured, low-cut lawn. But with that, you pretty much have to spend, I probably spend half an hour a day just doing something out there. The neighbours probably think I'm a little bit weird, but and I'm always, typically I'll start my day with a coffee, because I work from home. So I'll sit out there and I just look at it and sort of think, what do I need to do today? Because, you look at it and you can see every thing that needs fixing, even though someone would look at it and go, oh, looks fine. Because it grows so aggressively, once the weather in Australia, the temperatures warm up, it grows so thick that I wouldn't be able to use my cylinder mower on it. It starts sliding, gets really thick. So I think, I don't know if you've got it, but there's a video called Thatch. So and when it's time, because it's just a thick mat of growth that you need to pretty much cut right back to dirt. And it's almost like the the harder you go, the meaner you treat it, the better it comes up. So, yeah, and as you can see, I'd mowed it a day earlier and was cutting into crowns, and you know, hear that sound? Can you hear that? Like, it's like a straw kind of rough. So this is when you've got this, you know, it's time that you've got to do a height reset. From a distance, it probably looks okay, but up close, no, you've got to do some work.
So when it gets like that, it will damage your mower, right?
Yeah. So the first few passes that I do, I use a normal rotary mower, which is probably like your Toro, your daily one.
It's like,
so.
Like this one.
Yeah. So and as you can see, like the lawn starts going yellow and that's cutting it at the lowest setting, and it just you're eating into the crown. So I'm not actually cutting grass anymore.
Gotcha.
It's cutting the roots and the stolons and things like that.
Yeah. So
when I'm planning the reno, I've got to think about weather, because I can't do this when it's going to be low temperatures.
All right. Looks like she cut out a little bit. Yeah.
Window of at least 2 to 3 weeks of warmth.
Okay.
Yep. Damn internet.
Yeah, it's just cutting out a little bit, which we expected was going to happen. Just for everyone's information, it is around, I think you said around noon your time, like noon the next day. So I think, you know, there's a little bit of Wi-Fi issues happening.
12:45.
Yeah. So, okay.
Everyone's working from home and busy.
Yeah, using up the Wi-Fi, right? All right. So Greg had a question for you.
So when it's at this stage, it's like.
Okay. So Greg had a question for you. Where in Australia are you?
I am from Adelaide, which is in South Australia. Sort of has a warm climate, warm and dry. It's not sort of tropical like Florida would be, more probably like California sort of climate.
Okay. And I'm imagining that's where your screen name comes from. AdeLadyLawn.
Yeah, it was sort of a tiny bit of a play on. I was sitting there going, oh, what name? Normally I go Tar Heel Blue with all my sort of names, but I thought, oh. So that's just kind of randomly did it one day. I was just sitting there bored and thought, oh, I'll start taking photos of my lawn. So AdeLadyLawn, yeah. Okay,
makes sense. Let's see what other questions we have here. So India was saying that it's a weed. Your grass is a weed. I hope she's not talking about your grass. It's not a weed. It's a legit grass.
No,
I mentioned to you that I know someone who's working with that in California right now. It's very interesting. I've been watching his series. So I kind of had a little bit of an idea of what you were working with. So Greg said he's been there, Adelaide, and Perth as well. So familiar with that.
Oh, all right. Nice. Yeah.
So what I want to know from you is how is lawn care different in Australia than here, than the States?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because we've probably got a different climate and different grass varieties. I guess perhaps in Australia, the more you treat it mean, better it responds. Whereas I don't know if in the States when you do a reno, it's as aggressive as what we would do.
Mm-hmm. It is. It can be.
And I mean, we 10-acre cow.
Yeah, depends on the grass, I guess. But yeah, it can be. I've seen some pretty brutal ones. So grass is resilient, though. Yeah. That's what we love about it.
Yeah. That's it.
What did you hear, India, to have called it a weed? Like she said she misheard you. Okay. All right. So now this is a question you may not know the answer to. I don't even know the answer to, and I didn't Google it. But I want to know why fertilizer is spelled differently in the United States than it is in Australia. It's spelled with an S.
I haven't even.
Yeah.
I
Like
think there's a couple of words that you have a Z in, but we have an S
yes.
for Sam. But I think we're on the Queen's English, or the King's English. So yeah,
I guess.
And I get stuck with the temperatures. I think it's had a look. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit today here, but for me it's 35 degrees. So yeah, I get stuck with the whole different measurements and metric and
I do
things
too.
like that.
I do too. Google is my translator always. So
Conversion.
All right, let's look at let's see what we have here. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into talking a little bit about your reno and your process.
Yeah, so pretty much I needed 2 days, 2 full days to go through a reno. So I tend to do it on a weekend, so a Saturday and a Sunday, and then take Monday and Tuesday off work just to recover. So yeah, first step's picking the right time to do it. And the second step is low mowing and scalping. So I'm pretty much with my rotary mower, I probably do about 6 passes of the whole lawn. So I was lucky I had a skip because I'm doing some renos and have a skip bin for this reno because it was probably a quarter filled up with the grass clippings. And I finish off the mowing with, that's when I bring out the Scotty Bonner, which is the big, my favourite cylinder mower, because that can go pretty much down to dirt. So that comes in and really just, gets it down to dirt. And then I get the Ryobi scarifier out. I think, do you guys have, is it a Ryobi or a Sunjo? There's like a little plasticky scarifier.
Yeah, I think we have a bunch of them, but the most popular one is the Sunjo. That's the one you see the most, the yellow one. Yeah.
So I get our version of that out, and I probably do another 3 to 4 passes in every direction, up, down, across, diagonal, and just really to make sure I've got every bit of grass out of above soil level out. And then so that's day one, and then in the evening of day one, I'll sort of water the lawn lightly, and then get my little manual corer. It's a manual job, so that's pretty.
I think I have that. Let me see if I can bring that up. I have that somewhere here. It's when I pull them in, they just take over. So I want to make sure. Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that thing is pretty cool. So is yours hollow in the middle?
Yeah, and so it pops out little plugs, and I only just got this little piece of equipment from Real Solutions, and I'm actually surprised at how decent the cores come out.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty decent. You just kind of forget the manual labor. You're not 21 anymore, and so by the time I've finished,
that was going to be my next question. Like, how big is the area that you manually aerated?
That area is 100 square meters in
somebody
my language.
100 square meters. Somebody out there convert that for us.
It's probably not that big compared to what you guys have. So yeah, 100 square meters. So I do that in the evening when it's a little bit cooler. So as you can see, the ground's pretty much, the dirt's been, grass has been cut right down to, and it dies off and goes real brown and pretty much dead.
Yeah.
But these plugs, I was so impressed with them just from the.
Oh, wow. Look at that. My soil looks your soil looks great.
I think next year I might hire the machine corer. Might be a lot easier on the body.
All right.
So is 1,000 square foot like average front yard size for you guys?
And that's about right for those manual aerators, because I have one too, and I won't do anything more than 1,000 square feet with it. But you know, they're so, to me, they're so fun to use that you know that amount of area is okay. But yeah, that's pretty cool, and I was super
pretty
impressed.
Decent holes, yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed that you were able to do that with no shoes on, because my
you know, Australia.
That is insane. All right, so let me see if I can I'll bring up the next file that you had after the coring, was the top dressing.
Yeah, the step before that, I tend to I'll put a light fertilizer out, and also I'll put in Acceloprim, which is a bit of a bug and insect 6 month. You sort of get protection from a few bugs that can grow in our type of grasses. So I do that, and then pop the top dress on. So that was 1.5 ton of top dress sand.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. So how long?
Might hire some friends next time.
So Indy had a question. How long did it take you to? I guess well, let's go back to the core aerating. How long did it take you to do that 1,000 square feet?
I think maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. I think I can't. It sort of all blurred into a day, but yeah, probably about that.
Okay. And do you all have like the other aerating machines?
Yeah, there are, and you can hire them. I'll probably consider doing that next year. At first, I thought, the beauty of doing your own manual yard, sounds fun at the time, but so might hire one next year. We'll see what happens. I'll probably, but yeah, so that's day one, doing the mowing it about 12 times in total, scarifying it, corating, and then the next day the sand rocks up, and to shovel out all of those piles, that probably took about 2 hours, and then leveling it out. So two full days of hard work, I guess.
Wow.
And then Monday off to recover.
That's a lot of work. Hey, Renos are they're a beast like that anyway. So you should expect. Now you know exactly what to expect. Was this your first time? Was this your first time doing a Reno?
I did do it last September. Usually in Australia, we would probably first day of spring, which is I think 1st of September for us. That's when you plan to sort of start doing your renovation. But we've had like really cold weather, rain nonstop. It's been a really unusual last 2 years for us. So it's really odd that I'm doing it at the end of November, first week of December. Like that's unheard of. So bit odd that I've done it this late. I'm hoping Christmas. I've got one more week of hopefully some good warmth, and Christmas Day, if I can do a nice mow, I'll be happy. And I'll post that up if I can get a nice green. I feel like it's 3/4 grown back now. Certainly looked a bit green today.
Let's take a look at because you have some here with the watering.
So then the next 2 weeks, I'm pretty much just syringe watering all day, just keeping it all, moist, and it just, I feel it helps it sort of grow back. If I was working in my old job going into the city every day, I wouldn't be able to do this, because, I can only water before I go to work and when I come home. And now I can pop out once an hour and sort of just give it a light sprinkle every, keep it moist.
So you don't have like in-ground irrigation?
I do, but for some reason I just love hand watering because I
Yeah,
can,
I
I don't
get
know, find spots that I know need more. But yeah, once it's all grown back, I'll use the irrigation. Yeah.
Yeah. So what stage is it in this picture that we're looking at now?
That's probably, I think, day 5.
Okay.
Day 3, yeah, 4 or 5.
Well, day 7, so 2 weeks in. So let's look at this other one because you have a couple in here. It says day 7, so it looks to be coming in pretty well.
Yeah, I was surprised at how quick it kind of does. It bounces back so quick. It's you kind of every time you do a reno and go hard, you think, oh, have I gone too hard? Like, and then you wake up the next day and there's tiny bits of green just popping through.
Yeah, and you don't relax until you see that.
You're like, phew, it's coming back. It's not dead.
We're good.
So yeah, just pretty much 2 weeks of watering and yeah.
There's the hand watering. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of soil or top dressing is that you put down?
I live near a place that has the lawn porn top dress. I don't know if there's an Australian channel called Lawn Porn. And yeah, the guy, Matt's got a special mix of what he puts in there. I think there's a bit of urea and things like that, but it's a real clean, for me, I like it. And it's 5 minutes around the corner.
The color
kind of looks a bit dark. Yeah, it looks really sort of red center of Australia color.
Yeah.
And I did a pretty thick, like, yeah, you were probably freaked out when you saw how thick I put the top dress on this year. It's like it smothered the whole, but I just wanted to, there was a few spots I wanted to just, make sure everything was leveled up. And
nice.
yeah, I'll probably add a little bit more to it over the next few weeks as I see it sort of level out. But yeah.
Yeah, the leveling is always kind of hard. Excuse me. So this is it coming back a little bit. Yeah. So has it filled in even more than this?
Yeah, I probably should have taken a video today because, I feel like it's about 3/4 there. And with a week, 7 more days of sunshine planned for this week, hopefully Christmas Day it should be nearly there.
Nice. Okay, cool. Let's go back to this and see if we have anything else in here. Hi, JC. Welcome to the show. So it's kind of just some of the stuff we've already talked about. The picture on the left there looks really nice. I don't know what it is about that picture, but I think that because like I don't know.
New beginnings.
Something draws me to that picture.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so even here, it looks like more than in that last video we saw.
Yeah. I kind of refer to it as like the teenage years. Like it comes back and it's all in that, rough, awkward stage for about 3 weeks. And then it, starts. So I'll probably, I might even try and cut it with the cylinder mower on Christmas Day. So I do have that little push one, which I have been cutting it the last 3 weeks with that because it's not heavy. And, if I get sand in the reel, I'm not too fussed about that. Sort of my little, workhorse.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Tell me, is that your favorite mower there, the one on the right?
Yeah, I was so excited to buy that. I drove like 800 kilometers to go and pick it up, which is probably halfway across America.
Tell us about that one. What's the brand again?
It's called a Scott Bonner 45. They're actually about 50 to 60 years old. And everyone, there's big sort of, I've got the T-shirt on. It's a Scott Bonner restoration group, and everyone's sort of restoring them. There's a pretty good aftermarket for parts, and so my next goal is to keep that as my daily sort of mow, but I'm going to try and find another one that I'll restore sort of how I want to do. Maybe pick some cool colors and have a bit of a theme to it. I don't know.
Yeah. So are you a Tar Heels fan and a Lakers fan?
I am, yeah. So
Okay.
I was toying to have like a Laker like theme to it or something, or
Mhm.
on the next one that I buy if I can find one. So
Well,
yeah.
that's definitely a very nice mower. I see you guys posting about that. I don't think I'll ever get into the real mowing game. But it's nice to watch you all do it.
Yeah. And that's the difference, I guess, sort of. Yeah, I guess are there McLean? I've watched a few sort of channels and heard of like McLean's and real
I
mowers.
can't even think of the names of some of the top ones here. And that tells you just how serious I was when I was looking into it before. I guess I had a bad experience because I got like a battery powered one that didn't really do the job, or either I didn't adjust things right or something, but I was just like, nah, this isn't
They're
worth
really
it.
finicky. Like pretty much before I mow, I'm having to adjust something, oil them up. So they take and I mean, I suppose that's the good thing about sort of getting right into lawn in the last couple of years. I've also sort of tried to learn how mowers work and just getting my hands dirty, I guess, playing around with them.
Yeah. So is there anything? Go Tar Heels. Hey James, good evening. I don't really watch too much basketball anymore, but I mean, I respect the Tar Heels 100%. So here's one. Greg mentioned Allet. That's one I know I hear a lot. Can you get an Allet in Australia?
Yeah, and I think they've got battery versions of them as well now. I think. I mean, I'll probably stick with petrol for a bit longer, just because a bit more grunt to them.
Yeah.
I do run out of petrol a lot, so that's the only.
Are they pushing battery at all like they are here? In the US, they're really pushing battery. Are they doing that in Australia at all?
I think there are some. We've got, a lot of people have smaller lawns in Australia now. Like our house sizes have sort of halved, so people can now maybe look to battery power because I don't think on a huge yard. I don't think I would want to go battery on it if I had a very big property. But if I just had a small sort of area, battery, that's probably where the market is for the battery power range.
Now, are the Scott bonnets available in battery?
No. There are some people that put power conversion on there, and it is possible to sort of make them electrify them.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try to do that. So yeah.
Hey, Mark, welcome from Wisconsin. Sounds really cold where you are. It's pretty cold here, but it sounds much colder where you are. The way you just put that out there. Well, cool. Yeah. So I want to know from you, I know that you're on Instagram and you see everyone else's posts here in the US and everything. Is there something about our practices that stand out to you that you don't quite understand?
Good question. I see a lot of people have tall fescue, and I'm not really. I probably have never seen that in real life. So it's I just love seeing different countries and all their different practices that they have. So I've tried to follow a few people in Germany, England. And follow a fair bit in the States, and I just love sort of seeing everyone's different, how the grass looks and things like that.
So do you like the tall grass at all? Do you like that look at all? No. No.
And that's where my my like obsession with shortcut grass is. And but the shorter you go in Australia with our climate, you have to do something every day, every couple of days to the lawn to keep it at that length. So in summer, I'll use a PGR, like a plant growth regulator, just to sort of help, so I'm not annoying the neighbours too much mowing every day.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
do use the
sorry.
What is it, the leveler? Yeah. So
you use the broom or the leveler or both?
The lawn, the big sort of square lawn leveler. So I've had that parked out the front since I did the reno, because every day I might sort of just tidy up something if I see a low spot.
Yeah.
So
are there any other tools that you use there that we may not use here, or any other type of product? You mentioned earlier some type of pest product.
Acceloprin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we have like African black beetle, things that sort of grow under the soil, and so I apply that every 6 months just to sort of keep that off. There is one pest that I don't think there's a pesticide to treat it. It's what is it? It's like a little grasshopper. I'm just having a mental blank, but it grows under our grass and it eats at the root system, and so I've got to stay on that every just keep an eye out for little holes in my grass to see if they're growing under there, because if you don't catch them, they will eat your whole lawn, and in a week it'll turn brown. So
that sounds like our grubs and armyworms that we have.
Yeah.
But you said there's no pesticide or insecticide.
No, there's only there's something that you can use to kill it off, but I don't really want to put that in the ground like on a regular basis. So I might, usually midsummer, I'll put a application down just to see what comes up and things like that. So
So do you deal with things like moles or anything?
No, we actually no. That is what you guys have different to us. And I was researching moles, and I'm like,
I don't want those here.
No, what are they? Would you ever catch them? And they're not
rodents.
Pets or anything, are they? Yeah.
So I had an issue in my backyard a couple years ago, and I just put those little solar things all around my yard that gives off an audible tone, and they haven't really been back. But I also got dogs, so after that, so it could be the dogs or it could be those things. I don't know. We don't have them right now. But so I can't really think of anything else that I've seen you post that I had any big questions about. But I do love following you and watching your journey. I think, are you familiar with My Mate Kate?
Yeah, I've just started. We've just started following each other, and I think she did a reno a while back as well. And just with our temperatures being so low, some of them have taken a bit longer. But so it's great meeting everyone, or sort of connecting with everyone, with the little grass community, as I call it. Giving tips and learning, and sharing content, supporting each other, things like that. It's been great.
It really is. There's a lot to learn, and especially dealing with lawn care in a different country. It's always fascinating to me to learn this stuff. All right, so India wants to know, she says you have a rugby background. How are your sports fields in Australia? Is there a reputation for nice fields there?
Yeah, so it's AFL that I play. I used to play. Do you guys know what AFL is? It's that one you run around, Australian Aussie rules. Yeah, so our sporting fields, I think they're sort of a combination of rye grass. I think, yeah, you guys have rye grass over there, and and I think Tahoma 31's going to be a new variety that I think sports fields might change over to. So yeah, we have some really nice sporting grounds here. I was lucky enough to play on some like really beautiful grounds that I'd rock up to them and just sort of be more excited about seeing the grass that I was about to run around on.
Hey, you have to look at the grass. Speaking of, is there any other grass type that you would be able to consider putting in your yard besides what you have there?
Yeah, possibly that Tahoma 31. That's it's a cooch, and it's getting really bit of movement here in Australia. A lot of people have Tiff Tuff, Santarana. I don't know if you've heard of many of them.
No,
there's Buffalo.
I've heard of Tiff Tuff, but not the other one.
Yeah. And there's Buffalo. I'm not a fan of buffalo grass. I kind of feel it's a bit rough feeling, whereas I like a nice soft, not that Kaiku is soft, but if I have it short and that it's sort of, you go like over summer, I'll pretty much every time I mow the lawns probably mow barefoot because the grass is, just nice. So
yeah, very cool. Well, in here we have, the cool season and the warm season, and I could do in my area, I could do Kentucky bluegrass or, fescue or rye. And right now I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the fescue, tall fescue, but I'm doing the lateral spread fescue now, just kind of transition.
So that can spread, can it?
Yeah. To the lateral spread instead of just tall. Yeah. So I'm just overseeding with that gradually to get that out there in the yard.
Oh, there was one thing that always fascinates me. It seems that your grass goes into dormancy, and like I feel I don't experience that here. So even in winter, it sort of stays green all year round for me. So I just mow less in winter, probably once every 2 weeks. But I've noticed in the States, it can go brown, and I'd freak out if that happened. Like, I'd be like, what do I do for 6 months?
Well, the warmer climates, Florida, California, they're pretty much green all year, but the cool season does go dormant. Gets super cold, so it is what it is. So apparently, I've not heard of this Tahoma 31, so I want to look that up when we get off here. But apparently in North Carolina, didn't know that. Interesting. Learn something.
Oh, wow.
I learned something
awesome.
new.
I definitely got to get it now.
Yeah. Left Tool, hey, how you doing? Thanks for dropping by. And he's a big fan of Tahoma 31. Sweet. Hell, I have to look that up. That's a research project. So, and he has another question. So when you come and visit the States, come into the Equip Expo. October would be a great time to come and visit the States when the expo's going on.
I was sitting watching the Patriots and Raiders earlier today, and I was like, damn, why didn't I not get on a flight yesterday? And because I don't mind watching the Patriots play, I could have been there watching the game. I could have headed. I've got a month off now, so should have headed over.
Yeah, I can't even talk about football right now because my team just really just screwed everything up. But yeah.
Who do you go for?
Oh, the Cowboys. They lost to the Jaguars.
Always so much promise.
Yeah, in overtime. I'm still hurt. But so we all learned something new here. And I'm just trying to see if we have any other questions in here because I don't want to hold you too long. Oh, we had some good stuff tonight. God, that's right. Cowboy Nation. Cowboy Nation is hurting tonight. But yeah, thank you, Michele, for taking the time to come on with our huge time difference. For those of you who came in a little bit late, it's now what time is it? It's like
1:20 in the arvo. So no, that's all good. I've got all day I'll probably go out in the yard and water. Or take a photo or two.
Yeah, there you go. Because we want to see it. Put it on
See
Instagram.
what it's looking like today.
Let's go ahead and put your that's your account, Instagram account. Go ahead and give her a follow. Let's follow along. I want to see when it's fully filled and everything.
Can't wait.
So, yeah, definitely keep us posted on that. But yeah, other than that, I don't see any additional comments. I agree, Janelle. Great information you gave us here tonight. Thank you for becoming a part of Ladies of Lawncare. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and cut out of here. Thank you all for coming by and meeting Michele. And hopefully the next show I won't have any technical difficulties. All right. Good night, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.